House of Representatives calls for comprehensive review of medicines price list under the National Health Insurance Scheme to ease burden on Nigerians. House demands parity in conferment of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger GCON on Speaker. Double celebration for Speaker Abbas as 59th birthday aligns with Nigeria's 64th independence anniversary. Thank you for joining us on You and Your Reps. I am Victor, as welcome to the program. The House of Representatives has called for a comprehensive review of the medicines price list under the National Health Insurance Scheme for affordability and accessibility to Nigerians. Now, the House also received communication from President Tinubu for consideration and passage of 4 fiscal and tax reforms bills.
While I trust that the House of Representatives will, in their usual expeditious manner, consider and enact these bills into law, I'm confident that these bills, once passed into law, will encourage investment, boost consumer spending, and stimulate the economy.
The House at the Committee on Supply considered and approved reimbursement of 9.5 billion naira and 15.1 billion naira to Nasarawa and Kebbi state governments for the federal government to take over airports in the 2 states under a promissory note program. In other resolutions, lawmakers draw attention to the escalating cost of pharmaceutical products in the country. They stress the need to capture quality medicines in the NHIS medicine price list, which they say requires a comprehensive review.
Many vulnerable patients, especially the marginalized section of the society, are finding it increasingly difficult to get essential and quality medication in the health management organization, leading to adverse health outcomes and exacerbating the burden of illness on our healthcare system.
A bill seeking the establishment of the Nigeria Surrogacy Regulatory Commission scaled second reading.
There's a black market or underground industry for it, and in other cases, couples are going outside the country, exposed to other unfair conditions to have it done.
The House advocates speedy trial of persons in prolonged detention in line with fundamental principles of fair hearing.
To urge the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to review cases where individuals have been held in pre-trial detention for an extended period and take necessary steps to expedite their trials.
The House has also mandated its Committee on Sports to institute a probe of the poor performance of Team Nigeria at the Paris Olympics.
2024 Paris Olympics Games came to a close with Team Nigeria returning disgracefully without a single medal, in spite of the enormous investment and preparation for the actual event.
Issues relating to equality and status of the presiding officers of Nigeria's bicameral legislature emerged on the floor of the Green Chamber within the legislative week. Now, the House of Representatives unanimously passed a resolution seeking amendment of the National Honours Act of 1964 to ensure parity in the conferment of National Honour of Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger GCON on the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, a request that has now been granted by President Bola Tinubu.
A motion of urgent public importance by Deputy House Spokesman Philip Agbese on behalf of the 360 members frowned at perceived discrimination in the conferment of national honors on the Senate President and the Speaker. Lawmakers were unanimous that the 2 chambers of the National Assembly and their presiding officers have equal status, irrespective of who occupies the offices.
Appropriately recognize the Speaker of the House of Representatives as co-head of the National Assembly and accordingly confer the national honor of GCON upon the Speaker, ensuring parity in recognition with the President of the Senate. This should be accomplished before the formal declaration by Mr. President.
The Speaker is the 4th in protocol. The CGN comes after. Today, the CGN is given the award, the honor of GCON. I think there is some mismatch, some mix-up.
The issues here They have to do with history, with tradition, with correcting past injustices and miscarriage of recognition and constitutional order.
The Constitution did not mention that a chamber is higher than any other chamber.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. This motion is referred to an ad hoc committee to be chaired by the House Leader, and membership of the committee will include all the 6 zonal caucus leaders.
In other resolutions, the House urged the President to look into what it calls over-representation of 2 states in the governing board of the Northwest Development Commission, awaiting Senate confirmation.
The Act stipulates that each state in the Northwest must have 1 representative on the governing board. However, Jigawa and Kano each have 2 representatives. To call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to review and rectify appointment to the NWDC governing board.
The House also received a report of its Committee on Public Assets, which investigated the sale of 2 Bell helicopters by the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, Zaria.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, marked a double celebration as Nigeria's 64th Independence Day aligned with his 59th birthday. In a unique gesture, he chose to spend the day with students of public secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory and internally displaced persons at the Kabusa camp, bringing the spirit of unity and hope to the heart of the nation's capital.
Flanked by his wife and principal officers of the Green Chamber, the interactive session between Speaker Tajudeen Abbas and a cross-section of students from 6 public schools across the 6 area councils of the FCT revealed the desire of the youngsters for a better Nigeria.
Let's look at the factors that contribute to the state of education in Nigeria. 1, poor infrastructure. 2, inadequate classroom. 3, lack of proper funding for education.
The Speaker urged them to shield themselves from discriminatory sentiments and embrace the virtues of honesty, hard work and patriotism. He stresses the need to revamp education in the country.
Leaders should encourage themselves to believe in public schools and take enrolling their own children in public schools. That way, they will create more interest. That way, they will ensure that whatever is needed to improve the system is given.
Addressing the plight of internally displaced persons in Nigeria was the essence of the birthday and independence celebration, as the Speaker visits about 2,500 IDPs who lack basic amenities at the Kabusa IDP camp in Abuja. The Speaker was supported by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons and the National Emergency Management Agency.
Leaders should start refocusing on the key issues that affect this country. And one of them is the issue of poverty alleviation. So I decided that today, rather than going to dine and wine with my friends, I should come and celebrate with you. We know what you are going through, and we will do everything humanly possible to bring succor to your lives.
You have demonstrated to us that we have a strong ally in our journey towards ensuring that we provide sustainable solutions for our displaced persons.
Distributing food items, clothing, and providing medical services to the IDPs, the Speaker assures them that the Tinubu administration is committed to restoring their livelihoods.
Members of the House of Representatives have been advancing the merits of emerging regional development commissions across the country. So you and your reps engaged with the member representing Rano Bunkure, Kimbia Federal Constituency of Kano State, Kabir Al-Hassan Rurum, on the establishment of the Northwest Development Commission.
I'd like to thank Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for assenting to the bill and the establishment of the Northwest Development Commission, which he graciously approved the siting of the headquarters in my state, Kano, and even the appointment of the managing director from the same Kano. So we are happy, we thank him, and we hope the commission is going to live up to its expectations, because we have a number of problems in the north, especially the issue of security, the issue of farmer herders, and our teeming youth that are not attending formal school or education. So I think it's a thing that I believe the Northern Development Commission should focus on those areas, most especially the three key areas: the education, the security challenges, and to some extent agriculture. So I believe if they can consolidate on that, or they can concentrate on that, I believe the coming of the bill will be, I think that everyone from the Northwest will be happy, and I believe we will continue to thank Mr. President and those who initiated the bill, the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Looking at the quality of the members that were selected, most especially, I know at least 2 or 3 people personally. I know their capacity and I know their dedication to duties, and I know their honesty, which I believe if they can, all the members of the commission can join hands together and work with the fear of God, I believe things are going to be better for the region. And I know there are so many challenges and problems, especially in NDDC, but I believe even them, to some extent, you can say in some areas they have done well. So which I believe we are giving them our maximum support and cooperation and giving them benefit of doubt. Let us see how they are going to fare from now to at least next year. Then we can now be able to judge them whether they are doing rightly or wrongly. The areas of security, there are so many banditry issues in Northwest. If you from Sokoto to Kebbi to Zamfara to Katsina to some part of Kaduna, I can say Northwest is only having peaceful areas in Kano and Jigawa, but about 6 or 5 states are engulfed in this very unfortunate incidences. So I believe their assistance toward alleviating the suffering of those who were victims of the banditry issue is going to be commendable. And the issue of out-of-school children, which I believe that area too, I want to advise them that they should focus on it, because we have hundreds of our youths that are not attending formal education, which is a thing of concern for all citizens of this country, not only the Northern people. So I believe it's an opportunity for them to live up to the expectation.
We also sat down with the member representing Ibarapa Central and North Federal Constituency of Oyo State, Adebayo Adepoju, who lauded moves to also establish the Southwest Development Commission.
I don't want to preempt the president, but most likely he will assent to the bill. I mean, we've had other regions that have passed. So I want to believe the one for the Southwest as well will certainly pass. And I think it's a win-win situation for the country. First of all, let's talk about the federal character when it comes to the Southwest Development Bill. We have the one for the NDDC, which is the Niger Delta. We already had that had been going. Now we have the Northwest, we have the Northeast. So we have the Southeast now. So you see, it's like a balance. It's like a balance where, every part of the nation feels like a part of the Project Nigeria. So I think it's very important because it helps reduce the agitations. We keep talking about the equitable and justifiable distribution of economic resources of this country. And when you find out that you have a part of the country that is getting more from Nigeria, the other parts may not be very happy about it. And these are the kind of things that lead to people clamoring for regional government or sectionalization, or maybe people want to break up from Nigeria and things like that. So I think it's going to be one that would help solidify the unity of this nation, and I'm very optimistic that people of the Southwest descent will be very happy about it, because it will help development. Every part of this country needs development, and I think it's going to help accelerate the process of development, especially in the very remote areas of the Southwest. We're hopeful it will come before the budget, and we'll have budgetary inputs for the commission, and the budget will also help, jumpstart both the Southeast Development Commission and the Southwest Development Commission together. And I think that would really help us a great deal in aiding development. In this country where we are today in Nigeria, we need technocrats to help run the affairs of almost every organization. And we also need politicians to help with lobbying. Lobbying is very important, and it's very important, in every part of the world. You have people that will be able to move with the legislature, and help get things done. And these are the so-called politicians. So you need a mixture of both. If you have purely technocrats, run a commission, they'll run it, but they may not be able to get things done. And in this era that we're in, we're very concerned about people being able to achieve. What are their achievements? So we need a mixture of both. I think a mixture of both will give us the right mix of people that will certainly help move that commission forward. So from the experience that we've had with the NDDC, I'm sure we can always plow that experience into the composition of the Southwest Development Commission and also the Southeast Development Commission. The Speaker announced the chairman of the Southeast Development Commission. So that tells me that the Southeast Development Commission is good to go. It means that all the bolts and nuts that are supposed to guide that commission are being tied together. So we're excited about it. I think Honorable Nkwanta was announced as the chairman of that commission. This is someone that I know has a great deal of experience, someone I have a lot of respect for. So I'm looking forward to what they would achieve with that commission by way of what he will be able to do to oversight the agency to make sure that they do the best for Nigerians. And I think by and large, Nigerians would be winners. It's going to be a win-win situation for, both the legislature and the executive arm of government. When we talk about federal character, it's something that is enshrined in our Constitution. It's very important. And you would find out that what we see these days, especially with me being the deputy chairman of the Federal Character Committee of the House, is even when you have a regional, or let's say a regional commission like that, you find out that people still go ahead and pull things to one state where you have, a lot going to one state by virtue of where the chairman is from, or maybe by virtue of where you have the directors from, or things like that, at the expense of the other states that comprise, that same regional commission. So I think the number one priority that I think they should face is, how do we distribute this thing in such an equitable way where we do not have, problems in emanating from a region as a result of the creation of this commission. So we have to be very, very particular about how the projects, so to say, and developmental things that they'll be doing in the commission are being distributed. So I think that should be the very first thing. It has to be just, it has to be fair, it has to be equitable. And on the long run, in the short and long run, everybody will feel a part of that commission. And I'm excited about what the legislature has done, and we look forward to them working together with the executive, on that commission, and I'm sure it's going to be a win-win situation for the people of the Southeast. Absolutely.
Lobbying is a common word across disciplines, but more so for the legislature. We asked Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Waive, to explain the critical legislative practice.
Lobbying is a regular thing in the legislature, in lawmaking. When you talk about lobbying, you are talking about trying to win the support of the legislators who will be voting, who will be debating and voting on a particular piece of legislation. You find this, for instance, during the amendment of the 99 Constitution in the 9th Assembly. Many women groups, they came around talking to us. Many civil society organizations sent us materials to go through, to read, to educate ourselves on the importance of the gender bills they were championing. That's lobbying. And even on the floor, when a matter is being discussed, you see some members go around, talk to their colleagues, please support my motion, support my bill. It's lobbying. It's a normal thing. It's expected. In developed democracies, there are groups that are even institutionalized, as it were, who take it upon themselves to push for certain rights, for certain piece of legislation. Go around, talk to legislators, urge them to vote in a particular way. It's called lobbying. You try to provide all the information that will sway the opinion of the lawmaker for him to vote in a particular direction. That is what lobbying is about. Even among us, we can also lobby our colleagues. When you have an interest in a particular bill or motion, you talk to your colleagues to support your bill or your motion. That process of convincing and making sure that when the thing is finally on the floor, the matter is finally on the floor, you can have your way. That process is called lobbying.
Well, that's you and your reps. We hope you found it enlightening. Thank you for watching. I am Victor. As well, see you next time.